In this video, I'm going to go over the top 10 tips when starting on Airbnb. All right, so here we go. Tip number one, you want to create an attractive Airbnb listing. All right, so in this video behind me, this is one of our Airbnbs. And when we listed this Airbnb, our main focus when creating the content, the photos for it was creating a center of attention, like creating our hero picture, our cover page. And with that, we wanted to make sure it had colors in there, it had design, it had some enhancements that would attract the eye. And so when you were thinking about creating an Airbnb, like think about which area can you oversell, which area can you really enhance to make that cover photo for your Airbnb, because that's essentially what's going to help keep your Airbnb booked or keep you getting organic views to where you'll stay at the top rankings and Airbnb will actually recommend your listing to guests. Tip number two, you want to make sure you add the smart enhancements to your home, such as the smart locks, the smart doorbell, smart thermostat, smart garage opener. These things will help you with the guest check-in, easy access for services such as your cleaners or maintenance. It's going to be very important, right? Also, the smart thermostat. I know it's overlooked a lot of the times, but if you want to try to keep your electric bill down, right, having a smart thermostat that is actually connected to your actual doorbell. So when guests leave, the smart system recognizes that your guests have left the home, and it automatically turn your thermostat into eco mode, which saves on your energy bill. Also, the smart thermostat will allow you to be able to monitor how your AC and heater is performing. If you see that it's struggling, or if you see that the guests have the AC turned all the way down and it doesn't seem to be cooling, then that could be indications that your AC need maintenance. And if you can jump on top of these things before it becomes an issue, it's going to save you money. It's also going to save you a guest review. All right. The smart garage door opener is also another nice enhancement, because if you have packages being delivered, you can open a garage door for the deliveries. Right, so your whatever's being delivered to the home, and a lot of times the guests have items delivered to the home. You having a smart garage door opener will allow you to be able to give access to the deliveries to the garage, and also to make sure that the garage is closed once the package is delivered. Now, we've had instances where guests left the garage door open and they actually left the home, and all the same with the guests leaving the front door open. Right, we've had all of those instances happen. And if it wasn't for the smart garage door opener and the smart doorbell, we wouldn't be able to catch that and make the appropriate corrections before maybe someone went in the home and stole items. You never know what could have happened. So adding smart features is a great enhancement. All right. Tip number three is creating competitive pricing. All right. One thing I recommend when you are setting your pricing for your Airbnb is go and look at other listings. If you do not have an account with AirDNA, I do recommend getting an account with AirDNA. That is one of the platforms that will help you stay competitive with the pricing. But Airbnb has a feature, right? They have a feature that they've added. This feature is called the smart pricing. All right. In this feature, you can go and you can set your minimum pricing for your Airbnb, and also you can set your max pricing. And what happens with this feature is that during the times where they have a lot of demand, they may increase your pricing. All right. They'll automatically increase your pricing. And when times where there's not so much demand, then they will lower your pricing to the minimum. All right. The minimum that you set. And so I think the smart pricing is a great enhancement that Airbnb has added. And I think that's a tool that you should probably use if you're not familiar with the pricing of your local area until you get familiar with it. Now, I'm not going to say that I use that smart pricing, because we do not use a smart price on our Airbnbs, but we do use a pricing tool. But it's a pricing tool that we use like on AirDNA, from AirDNA, and we manually set our pricing and adjust our pricing accordingly. Tip number four, making sure you fill out the complete details and all of the amenities on your Airbnb listing. So the details are very important, All right. Airbnb's added a lot of different categories when it comes to amenities, and going through and answering all those questions is going to help you come up into different filters where your Airbnb might match a criteria. And so I do recommend you going through and answering all those questions for as far as the amenities. And if you see some amenities that you can add that you may have not thought about, such as games and board games, and just what was one, like a stroller, and a playpen for the kids, a pack and play, different things of that nature. If you go through the amenities and you see things that you can add and it's not going to cost your arm and leg to do so, then I do recommend that you make a list of things that you want to add, and you add them over time, maybe if you can't do it all at once. But the amenities surely help you come up in a criteria search for particular guests. All right. And that is my tip number 4. Tip number 5, cleanliness and comfort. All right. You want to make sure that your Airbnb is clean. And when I say clean, I mean clean, right? So this means checking up under the beds, making sure it's clean up under the beds, make sure it's clean behind the refrigerator, behind the stove, on top of the refrigerator, making sure all your vents for your home is clean, making sure the return vent is clean, dust the fans, dust the light fixtures. All of these things truly matter when it comes to guest experiences. You want to make sure that the guests, can really, they walk in your home and it not only looks good, it smells good, but when they place something on top of the refrigerator, you don't want them to, their hand to be full of dust. So you want to just make sure that, your home is really clean. And then I also recommend, before you go live, right? Before you go live with your with your Airbnb, stay in the home for a night or two, or have a family member or a friend, close friend, to stay in your home and check out the beds. Have them to grade your home or rate your home based on their experience, and then take notes on the things that you may need to add. If the beds are not comfortable, then make sure you change them out, right? Test the beds out, make sure they're comfortable. The worst thing you could do is have a nice home with uncomfortable beds. The guests won't want to stay there. Next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you add a mattress protector to all of your beds. All right. Don't wait until the mattress get messed up, but make sure you add a mattress protector from the very beginning to all of your beds. All right. This is going to be a great enhancement to your home, because you'll be amazed. Guests, some of these guests, they'll pull all your sheets off the bed. They'll pull the mattress protector off the bed just to look at the mattress. You want to make sure that you don't have one of those guests to try to do something like that and leave you a bad review. Okay, so mattress protector, please. It's not, and also keep an extra mattress protector at all the homes, and also keep extra comforters at your home for your Airbnbs. Tip number 6, you want to make sure your home is pet friendly. There's a lot of guests that travel with their pets, and you want to make sure that you can welcome all guests, right, that comes with their pets. A lot of guests that come with their pets, they tend to stay longer than 3 days. So you normally get guests to stay maybe 5, 7, 14 days with their pets. So as long as your home is pet friendly and you can welcome these guests with the pets, you'll be sure to keep, some solid bookings that are longer than 3 days. All right. So pet friendly is key. And pet friendly meaning that your floors have hard surfaces, whether it's tile, hardwood. It's just hard. It's just surfaces that, you don't have to worry about, carpet or, cloth furniture. So make sure that, it's possibly leather furniture or some type of, vinyl, something that's easy to clean. And you don't have to worry about the pet fur, getting stuck all in the furniture and so forth. So pet friendly. All right. That's tip number 6. Tip number 7, establish house rules. House rules is very important. All right. It really establishes what the guest's expectations are in the home. So, having, the rules that says no smoking in the home. Also, add your no smoking signs around the house, whether it's no parking in the garage or no open up the windows. Like, all of these things matter. And the little things is such as no opening the windows is very important because you may have, water sprinklers, or it may be storming. A guest open the windows and leave it open. The home may be vacant for a couple of days, and the cleaners didn't recognize that the window was open. Now you have damage inside the home for the window being open. It's just a lot of little things like that. And if you don't allow guests to open up the windows, then more than likely you will prevent them from trying to smoke inside the home because you had a no open up the window policy. The no opening windows, it goes a long way. Opening the windows, you can let flies in the home, all type of insects in the home. And not only that, a guest may leave the window unlocked, and now you may, be welcoming unwanted guests or someone, breaking into the home because the windows were left unlocked. So these are just some key things with the house manual to make sure that you establish your house rules, all right, and set the proper expectations. And I'll add one more thing with the house manual. So with one thing that we had to learn for is the barbecue grill. All right. When we initially added the barbecue grills, of course, they were all clean, but we started to get guests complain about the barbecue grills not being clean upon them arriving. And, they started to leave us bad reviews because the barbecue grill wasn't clean, or they wanted a credit or something, off of their stay because the barbecue grill. And, we just trying to figure out, like, how does something that we spend money to enhance their stay by adding these features become a headache for us? And so one thing we added in our house manual was that the barbecue grill was free to use as is, but we added on a fee if they wanted to have it cleaned and prepared before their stay. And so we added that feature into our listing as well, and we added in the house manual. And now, ever since we added that feature, we haven't had any complaints about the barbecue grill. Of course, nobody wants to pay for it, but they'll use it for free, but they won't complain about it being dirty. And so that one key thing that we added to our house manual, it like saved all of our experiences for our guests that would have complained. Now, some guests do reach out and say, hey, the barbecue grill is not clean. And then we remind them, hey, please look at our house manual, look at the listing. We need to know 2 days prior to your arrival if you wanted to add the barbecue grill cleaning. It's free to use as is, but there is a fee to have it prepared and cleaned before your stay. And as soon as we say that, we don't have any more response or issues from that. And, that's one less thing you have to worry about getting a bad review for because it's noted in the listing. Tip number 8. Invest in safety and security. All right. So with this tip, you want to make sure you have smoke detectors, you have fire extinguishers. You want to have things there to help protect the guests and ensure that the guests' safety. Right. And with that being said, having secure locks. Maybe you have a sliding glass door. A lot of those locks on the sliding glass door don't work as they should, right, or effectively. So adding a extra lock, maybe a stick behind the door, or something of that nature, like those things make the guests feel safe, right? So secure the home. Make sure the home is secure and safe. Maybe you want to add a safe inside the home. So therefore, if the guests have some expensive items that they want to, put in a secure place, then you can provide that. In our home, we don't have any safes inside our home. We are thinking about adding that feature just because of what I mentioned, as far as just adding, having something for the guests to put their expensive items or important items in the safe, just to protect. So that is our tip number 8. Tip number 9. Be flexible, all right, and try to accommodate the guests as needed, in reasonable circumstances. So if a guest wants to check in early, try to be flexible and accommodate early check-in, late checkouts. All of these things give the guests a better experience. So it's not something that we always accommodate because with our listings, we have a checkout at 10 a.m. and then we have a check-in at 4 p.m. And based on how our listings been going, it's been a lot of like back-to-back booking. So they check out in the morning, check out in the evening. And so with that, we don't really have a lot of room for late checkouts, all right, or early check-ins. But when we do try to accommodate the guests, all right, when that happens. So what we'll normally do is, when the guests ask, normally they ask ahead of time, we'll let them know, hey, unfortunately, we won't know until a day before checkout or the morning of check-in if we'll be able to accommodate an early check-in or late checkout. And when we reach out to the guests who are checking in, we normally ask them, when do you expect to be arriving? If they're going to be arriving late, then of course we can accommodate a late checkout because they'll be checking in late. But if they're going to be arriving early, then of course we can accommodate a late checkout. So we try to, just find ways that we can accommodate guests, but we try to maximize our profits on our short-term rentals by having a checkout at 10 and a check-in at 4 p.m. And we have a lot of back-to-back bookings. Tip number 10, provide excellent customer service. And this almost is like a no-brainer, but in some cases it's not. We as hosts, sometimes we prioritize our listing and, maybe the guest is wrong, but I can tell you that providing excellent customer service means that the guest is always right. And so no matter what the circumstance may be, listen to the guests, try to accommodate them, even if you know that they're wrong. But I can add this to tip number 10 and provide excellent customer service. Make sure you do all your communication on the Airbnb app. There's a lot of guests that will reach out to you directly because Airbnb do offer the host contact information. And if they do reach out to you personally on your phone, make sure you direct them back to the app for communication. All right, this is going to be important because even if you provide excellent customer service and the guest complains, and the communication was not on the actual platform for Airbnb support to monitor, then you may not be able to dispute a bad review. So with our Airbnbs, we make sure that all the communication is done on the app. Even if they text us directly, we will respond via text and let them know that all communication will be, that we direct all the communication back into the app. And one thing that we've added is that we communicate throughout their stay. So as soon as they check in, we're asking them how is their stay, if they're getting comfortable, if they have any questions. The morning after they check in, we're following back up. Hey, hope you got settled in. Is there anything you noticed or recommend that we needed to address immediately? A lot of time guests don't respond to any of our communication, and that's fine. But the fact that we communicated in the app and we have proof that they did not respond when we reached out, if they leave us a negative review, we can go and dispute that because we reached out and we try to, make sure we're doing our job to communicate very transparently and often. And if they don't respond, that's perfect, because if they don't leave us a 5-star review, we can dispute any reviews they leave because we reached out to try to accommodate them and they did not respond. So anytime a guest complained about something and they did not respond accordingly when you reached out, you can always dispute those negative reviews. And we've been very successful disputing all reviews that does not align with our listing or our customer service. So providing excellent customer service also means communicating often, all right, and making sure you direct all the communication to the Airbnb app. So customer service support can monitor the communication and you can dispute any type of reviews that does not align with the communication or the customer service that was provided. Look, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more of this content, be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you are in the market looking for an Airbnb in the Georgia or Florida market, be sure to reach out to us. The number directly to reach me is 786-277-1190. I do offer Airbnb short-term rental consultations, and you can also reach me via the link and schedule a 15-minute consultation with the link below in the description of this video. Look, I'm Emmett Combs. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.